Hi there and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. I'm in the kitchen, I've got my apron on and I'm ready to cook for you my fabulous Thai fish cakes. That's right, we're going over to Thailand and it's out of Simply Too Good to Be True number 2, and this is the gorgeous recipe I'm making today. But hang with me because I'm going to do a twist on it that's actually not in the book. So I'm going to tell you about that in a little while. But so before we start the cooking, let's talk about last week. We had 3 very excited ladies who all won 2 things. That's right. They won the 8-week weight loss journal as well as the snack Bible. So they got the 2. So that was Meredy Key, Vicky McGuffey, and the gorgeous Diane Christensen. So well done, girls. You will be getting your books in the mail soon. And of course I'll be giving away later, so hang in there. So let's just check out what you need for this recipe. Now the key is that you need to have a food processor or some sort of machine that will pulse up the fish. You could try and just chop it yourself, but it is one of those ones that we really want it to become a fine mixture, so the food processor is kind of the way to go. All right, so we start off with a very important ingredient, that's the fish. So we've got the 500 grams of the boneless fish fillets. You get 2 egg whites. You need half a cup of the fresh coriander leaves, which I just love. If you really hate coriander, because I know people either do or don't, you could replace that with Thai basil. Yes, you could. You have the 4 teaspoons of the red curry paste, 3 tablespoons of corn flour, 2 teaspoons of the sweet chili, as well as 2 teaspoons of fish sauce and a cup of breadcrumbs. And I just use the ones you buy, the breadcrumbs. So this is what we need for Thai fish cakes out of book 2. So let me move this away for a minute because we also have shallots, which I didn't mention. So you want half a cup of shallots. So I'm just going to prep that up. It's a really simple dish and really beautiful, because the problem with Thai fish cakes is that you normally buy them at the Thai restaurant and they always deep fry them. That's right. And so I wanted to give you a healthy way to enjoy what I think is a really delicious version of the Thai fish cakes. And it's out of book 2, remember. So what you do is you start by just prepping everything up, because there's not much to do. As you can see, I've got my ingredients here. There's my 2 egg whites. I've measured out my shallots. I've measured everything out. The only thing you've really got to chop up physically is your shallots. I know. Or do you call them something else? We always have this discussion in the workroom. You know, are they green onions? Are they shallots or echallots? What do you reckon, guys?
Spring onions.
Oh, Bill says spring onions. Oh, he's always got to throw another one in. Okay, so there's half a cup. So that's kind of my work done. So let's put that over in the sink. All right, so let's get started, because basically we're just going to chuck all of this in the food processor. Let me move my recipe book and bring this over. I've got my fry pan here ready to go to cook them in. And it's funny because someone said to me once, why do you have the cookbook here, you know, when you're cooking? And I go, I don't know, it's like a little comfort blanket for me, because it just tells me what I've got to do in case I forget. Because, I mean, you know what, I have got hundreds of recipes, so I don't always remember everything. All right, so the first thing you start with is the fish. Alrighty. So actually I might put my gloves on. It's always a good idea, because when you're making them into the patties, it does help, I think, especially with me because of my nails and my jewellery. I always find that wearing the gloves is always just a bit easier. Now, Thai fish cakes, I think they plagiarised fish cakes from England. I think that's where it originally started, if my facts tell me, and they put their spin on it. And it's quite different. The fish cakes from England are quite different to the fish cakes I'm making for you today. So that goes in the sink. So we've put in the Now what I've used here is barramundi. Let me just pulse it up for a couple of minutes. Perfect. So what you want to do is break up the fish really well. Now what you do is chuck everything in. I know. How hard is this? In go the shallots, the egg whites, that was 2, the coriander, breadcrumbs, fish sauce, let's get all that fish sauce in there, sweet chilli, and I always serve some sweet chilli with them as well. You've got your, where's my little ladle? You've got the red curry paste, and this is what will really zing it up. They're not too hot though, so don't feel like you've got to be, you know, worried about that. And of course then the corn flour, which helps bind it all together. So let's get rid of all these in the sink. There we go. And all you have to do now is zhuzh it. Blend it, process it, whatever you want to call it. That's what you do. So, I'm not doing anything. It's my kind of recipe. All right. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Okay, so now what we do is carefully take out the blade. I'm using a Breville here. It's just a mighty machine, but those blades, they scare the heck out of me. And then I can actually move this away. And let's put the filling into the bowl. As you can see, it's all mushed up and gorgeous and ready to be made into my Thai fish cakes. All right. Now, let's talk about the fish. And I'll heat this up. I used frozen barramundi. You get it in a bag in the supermarket, and all I did was take off the skin. So I don't want skin in there. Don't put the skin in there, it'll be horrible. And I found it was like half the price of buying it fresh. And for this type of recipe, I think it's okay to get the frozen and just defrost it yourself. But I do like the barramundi. I think it's got a nice flavour to the dish, and I think you'll like it with these patties. Now, normally in the recipe, now here comes my little twist. Normally in the recipe, I tell you to make 12 patties. And so they're about that big, and you flatten them out, roll them out, and then you cook them for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side with the cooking spray. But what I want to show you is how I do them. I do them a lot like this. And let me just get this. I'm going to do it as party food. Yes, it's like the finger food, right? So Bill's just said, move your fry pan over, Annette. Thanks, Bill. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them into this size patties. Instead of making them really big, I'm going to make them little, and honestly, they are fantastic for parties. They are awesome for like a nibbly, you know, like say an entree. Like, you know, you could do several, you know, just put them out and let everybody help themselves. And you just make these little ones, put the, you know, the cooking spray, I did that in the pan. And all I'm going to do is make them this shape. Just, you know, like kind of a bite size. So that if, for example, you're at a party and you have to take something, how perfect is this? Because, like, did you see how hard it was for me to do it? It wasn't hard at all. It took little effort. So you put them just little bits in. And that way then people just pick them up They're bite size. And Diane's waving at me. Yes, Diane?
Laura has a question.
Laura, yes.
Can you use shark? She's got some in the
Yes.
freezer and she needs to use it up.
That's hake, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can use any fish that you like. You know, as long as it's boneless and filleted, whatever. Because it's not, you're not having like a piece of it, you're mushing it all up. I'd be going maybe what's on special would be another thing. Or as she's saying, she's got some in the freezer and wants to use them up. Yeah. So as you can see, all I'm doing is just making them into little bite-size balls. Flatten them a little bit so they cook. I might just start turning them. And what you do is before you turn them over, just spray them with the cooking spray and then turn them over. They don't take too long to cook, so that's awesome. And I think it's another way of offering something really healthy to your visitors or your guests at a party. So like obviously you can see I've made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I've made 12 just for you right now. Look at all the mix I've got left there. So you're going to get like a pile of them as part of a party food or you know, finger food item. As I said, you can make them that they are 12 patties and then you can have them as a meal. Like we actually have them often as a lunch with some salad, especially in summertime when you're looking for something a little bit different than just putting some sliced ham with your salad. It makes it a little bit fizzy and fabulous. Now I'm going to cook them for a minute, and what I've prepped up already is my plate. I've stuck a couple of chilies here because let's make it look a bit fabulous. Look, I'm making a mess on here. And we're just going to cook them for a couple of minutes. I mean, I won't bother making any more because we haven't got time. I'll make them after the show. But the idea is that by using these as a starter, you know, when people are coming over, you just put them out. You can freeze this mixture if you want before you cook it so that you can bring it out for a party that day to make if you make it during the week. Or you can freeze these for probably months if you wanted to in the freezer. So you can just bring them out, defrost them, and everyone can enjoy them. And as I've got here, I've done the sweet chili sauce because I think that goes perfect with this. So just remember when you turn them over to give it a little spray. Alrighty, so let's just cook them for a couple of more minutes. And this is Thai fish cakes out of book 2, which is fabulous. So if you're thinking, I don't have book 2, well maybe you could be my lucky winner because I'm going to pick 3 of you next week as the winners. So what you have to do to win this fabulous book, book 2, is you have to like, share, and then in the comments I want you to write hashtag Symply #2good. So remember that hashtag Symply 2good, and I'll pick 3 fabulous people that will win this beautiful cookbook. Yes, so let's just serve up my gorgeous little fish cakes. They're just that lovely bite size that you want. And as I said, I mean, you'll make lots and lots of these. I've just done a few just for the time. Book 2. And when you look at that, you've got to say to yourself, I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Well, hello, it's called Simply Too Good to Be True. That's right. So let me move this out of the way. So here is my recipe. Who wouldn't want this as a little appetizer or to pass around at a party, just picking it up, dunk it in and in the mush. That's right, there it is. Fantastic. Now, before I finish up today, I don't want you to miss my offer at the moment on my website. Now, you can get a free 8-week weight loss journal valued at $5.95 when you make an order on my website for over $35 or more. That's all you have to do to qualify, and we'll chuck one of those little journals in your bag. So check the July newsletter and find out how you can claim the free diary, because the offer ends on the 19th of July. Or you can inbox me for the code. You need a special code for it. So if you haven't got the newsletter, then just inbox me. Now, this is today's recipe. I mean, I basically just let the machine do all the work for me. I love it. But next week's show, I'm already excited about next week's show. I know I'm super busy about it because, yes, I'm talking guilt-free. Drum roll, please. Sticky date pudding. That's right. Woohoo! I know. I've got a guilt-free sticky date pudding for you. It is phenomenal, and I'm going to share it with you next week. I know, you're welcome. You need to tune in though for it next week, and you will love it. So check out my website, www.simplytoogood.com.au. You'll get lots of tips and recipes there. But in the meantime, we have got Thai fish cakes for afternoon tea. Thanks everybody for joining me. See you next time. Bye.